Vladimir Putin was born in the proud city of Leningrad shortly after World War II. The fighting in Leningrad did not end then, though, and the children of the city of Leningrad were in constant brawls, most of them being ended by young Vlad. In fact, if you wanted to start a street brawl in Leningrad at the time, simply pick the smallest kid around and stand in his way. That kid was young Vlad, and you would be bleeding on the floor. Anyway, young Vladimir walked into the KGB one day and tried to sign up, and they said no, KGB do not take volunteers. But somehow he managed to get into law school, and somehow his teacher was able to arrange a job interview with the KGB, and he got in. Somehow. And then he went to East Germany, until East Germany stopped existing for some reason. And then he went back to Leningrad with what he could take with him from East Germany, a washing machine and enough money to buy the finest car in the Soviet Union. And then Leningrad ceased to exist and became St. Petersburg. But he became deputy mayor under his old law professor. He was in charge of exporting raw materials from all over Russia and importing all the food that went through the port of Leningrad. He was a magnificent manager, such a good manager that he became one of the most wealthy people in all of the Soviet Union, despite the fact that he was simply a mid-level bureaucrat. But the shelves in St. Petersburg were still empty, even though the black market was thriving. And for some reason, important journalists, politicians and community leaders became very subject to accidents. They were so accident-prone that one of them even swallowed enough rare polonium to kill him slowly over the course of 3 weeks. I mean, who accidentally swallows polonium? Horrible accident. Organized crime was taking over, and KGB thought that the only way to stop the Soviet Union collapsing from all the organized crime was taking it over. But then Gorbachev and the Soviet government saw that the KGB was taking it over, and they abolished the KGB. And then there was an attempted coup for some reason. Boris Yeltsin saved the day. Gorbachev and the Communist Party was still in charge of the Soviet Union, but the Soviet Union and the Communist Party was soon abolished by the KGB. So Putin was taken to Moscow to head up the KGB, which was not the old KGB, but the FSB, because the old KGB did not exist. But the KGB, now FSB, was not in charge. Yeltsin was. And when the economy kept on getting stolen, Yeltsin was blamed. His deputies were KGB men, but they could not stop the debt for some reason. And Yeltsin appointed the man running the new FSB as his deputy. Then apartment buildings started exploding mysteriously. But when Yeltsin stepped aside and made Putin prime minister, Putin saved the day by stopping the explosions and winning the election. And so it is today that Vladimir Putin is now president of Russia, apart from the constitutionally mandated period where Putin swaps over with his prime minister and then becomes prime minister himself, and the post of prime minister becomes the most powerful in Russia because Putin is just so powerful.